Hello, today I'll be drawing on Ibis Paint because that's usually the app that I usually use for my drawing. Here I'll be opening up Symmetry Ruler, which you're going to see me doing. And now that I have Symmetry Ruler, we'll start drawing. And first, I'll be drawing the head. And I struggled on it like a few times, but eventually I found a head that I wanted to stick with. So, and then we go to the eyes, because that's literally one of the things on the face that I basically draw first. Especially on digital. And then to finish off the eyes, I do some stuff that humans have. And then we move on to the eyebrows. And I found a new eyebrow type that I'm doing. And then afterwards, we draw the neck. Start drawing the neck a few times, which you'll also be seeing me doing pretty soon. And after that, I decide to do a little bit of black for the shading because I'm too lazy to actually do some shading. And then I do it some more, basically color it in some more because I don't like it. And then afterwards, draw the ears. And then we draw the hair. And then the shoulders or whatever. And I basically found a shoulder that I basically liked, so I'm going to keep it. And then playing around a little bit, basically, with the drawing that I basically started off with. And then afterwards, we come into drawing inside of the ear. And that's basically how I draw inside of ears. And then after, when I'm done basically doing all of that, I draw the eyelashes. I had to make the brush a bit smaller to do that. So, yeah, I basically had to do it with basically the brush being smaller. Anyway, and then we move on to the hair finally. And then I draw it in some sort of way that I want it to look like. You'd probably see me undo this like a few times because I don't want it to be that way. But anyway, afterwards we're done drawing the hair. When I'm done drawing the hair, I am moving on to closing off the head because I don't like it. And of course I don't like the closing off the head because it doesn't look too good to me. So I end up erasing it. And you'd see me fixing it back at the end. And I'm like, you know what? I'll just keep it that way for a while. And then ignore it for a while. And then they'll see me fixing it again because I'm done with what I need to do. And then afterwards, erasing the mouth for some odd reasons. Probably just to make it a bit wider or whatever. But you'll probably see changes to the mouth. And then after when I redrew the mouth, I check on it for some reason. And then we start drawing the hair again, adding more hair. You'd probably see me adding back hair because I am, technically. Probably choosing back hair for my character that I randomly drew, basically. So after I probably decided, I'm gonna close off the head because it's not gonna stay like that. And of course it doesn't look good, so I didn't erase it, but I just decided to be a little bit silly. Then I added a few more details. I left it, and then I was checking on it. Erased a bit of the head, and then I undo it, and then erase it. I closed off the head again. I undo it, but not for long. So now we're in the part of, almost in the part of, coloring. So now I color my picture in. I undo it for some reasons, and then go back to coloring again in like a few minutes. So yes, I know the ears are white, but I colored them in too. Like, started off by coloring it in with the bucket. And then you'll see me color inside of the ears pretty soon too. So yeah, we're in the part of coloring inside of the ears and in the eyes too. So I made a tiny mistake by putting the outline on it, but I've fixed it. Hair is going to be colored in also pretty soon, probably in a darker shade. Okay, in a darker shade? Okay. So, yeah, it's about to be colored in after the eyebrows. So the eyebrows are colored in. Now we just have to color in the hair in a darker shade of brown that I decided to use. And some of the shirt is colored in brown, but I put it in a different color other than brown. Bit of it is still white, but I'm going to work on coloring that too. So after I color it in, I make sure no white spots are in it. So basically, we're done coloring the hair. Now, let's move on to basically the shirt. So I colored the shirt in a different color, obviously, and decided to fill in that gap and make it brown because I want it to be the hair. It irritated me so much, so I decided to erase it and then fill the gap back in because how mad I was basically for this. How I was so disappointed. So basically I just colored it back into brown, as you might see here. Then decided that I was going to close the gap back in. I wanted to erase it, but I was like, no, I can't erase it. And so it's like that, basically, of what you're saying. So for this next part, I'm choosing the background. I wanted it to be like a watermelon color, where it only had like red and green, but the background wasn't really letting me do two, so I decided to do like one background, which was like the background color. I mean, which is like pink. It looks like pink, so anyway, I decided to do that color. I'm shading in the eyes, but basically I didn't want to do that because I gave up. So afterwards, I decided to go for a different pen to do the pupil because I wanted to do that. And I wanted like a bit of a reflection to show, but I decided not to do it because how I didn't really like it. So you'd see only the pupil basically in it afterwards. Basically only the pupil, not the little reflection, little tiny reflection that I wanted to do. So that is only it. So that's what I decided to do. So don't blame me, please. Mm. Next, I decided that I was going to do blush for it. And I tried at all the things that I possibly can. And I was like, no, that's not going to work. Until I found like a brush size for the airbrush that I decided to use. So I went with it. And then decided to make little tiny strokes with a darker color, in which you're going to see soon. Me making the tiny little strokes for the blush. So I basically am looking for a different brush to do that, or maybe just a drawing pen that I basically use. So I went for on filters for some reason, which I wasn't really good at like doing. So I tried doing it in the same, like basically color that I used for the blush after I picked a different brush. I did that the airbrush, and then afterwards when I was basically done, basically finding a different color and a different brush, I started doing little tiny strokes of blush on there because I thought, why not do it? So, yeah. Okay, now we're actually at the part where I add little tiny strokes to the blush that I decided to add on my character. Darker blush. It's a darker blush, basically. Since my character has darker skin, I decided to use darker blush. So, yeah. Now, it is time for the background, second background color, which I decided was going to be green. And I figured which one that I wanted to do, basically, for the background color of this picture. And eventually, I think I found one basically, basically to do with a picture. So, after when I thought I found the one, basically, for the picture, I went with it, and yeah. So, that is basically the ending results of the picture.